Yeah.
So how did I start Dad Edge? It started in 2012, because even though I met my biological father and I still didn't know what I was doing, but I can tell you I had a deep desire. I was like, I won't get divorced and I am going to be the best father possible. But what I can tell you is drive and intention is a start, but it is not a map. Like you can have all the drive in the world. I mean, look at the movie Rudy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it paid off in the last game, but that drive and intention got him so far. It got him on the team. It got him in the practice team, all that other stuff. But he wasn't a starter, right? He didn't have that map or that skill set. Neither did I. So on a really dark night at the time, my two oldest boys, who are 15 and 13 now, were 6 and 4. My 4-year-old was being a 4-year-old. And at the time, I had a mediocre marriage. I had zero patience with my kids. I wasn't abusive, but I did fatherhood like kind of out here, like at arm's length. Got into my hobbies. I was kind of in it and not. And my 4-year-old stepped out of line and I spanked him. And I spanked him so hard that he hit the ground. And I went to pick him up. And it was the first time I hit him. I went to pick him up to help him up because I was like, oh my God, like what did I just do? And I go to pick him up and he looked at me like I was a freaking monster. Like he was terrified of me. And in that moment, I didn't see my son. I saw me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I am doing exactly what I have told myself for the past 30 something years that I would never do. And I've been doing it for 6 years. So that was it. I went into my office that night, and I'll finish the story here. Went into my office that night and I did what every grown adult does when they're stressed out, overwhelmed, and emotionally drained. I got on Facebook to distract myself. Didn't want to think about it. But I think that was a really good divine intervention, because in that scrolling through Facebook with tears in my eyes, I saw this button, said create a page. And I hit that button and the words, The Good Dad Project, just rolled off my heart onto that keyboard. And I started this page. And the Good Dad Project was the start of Dad Edge, and Good Dad Project was me. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to learn. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm great at my career. I have results every year. I get promoted all the time. This is awesome. Why can't I take that same drive and hunger and curiosity and learning into this? So I did. And 2015 started the podcast, wrote my first book. And 2017 started a mastermind. And man, here we are 4 years later. Well, I guess 6 years later with the podcast, 4 years later with the mastermind. And it has been the most amazing work and the most humbling work. Last thing I'll say is this. I had a date night with my wife last week. And I said, let me ask you a question. I was like, we've been married for almost 18 years. Where would we be without Dad Edge? And she didn't even hesitate. She goes, divorced. I was like, you didn't even hesitate. She goes, I didn't have to. She goes, listen, nobody in my family, not one person has ever been divorced in my family. But I wasn't sure about us. I was like, wow, okay. So that's the story, my friend. That is the origin story.